Hello everyone. We all are hearing the words coronavirus and COVID-19 very oftenly, and this coronavirus is the most discussed villain of the globe in the past 1 year. All of you have done so many researches in understanding coronavirus, COVID-19, its spread, prevention, COVID protocol and so many. In spite of all possible preventive measures taken by the governments and individuals, still the COVID-19 worldometer is going higher and higher. Today, we teachers of all Atomic Energy Central Schools of Tarapur present an overview of COVID-19, spread of the disease, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, COVID-19 protocol, and COVID appropriate behavior, and also about vaccination. Before going into the details of coronavirus, we will just have a recap of what is a virus. Virus is an acellular infectious nucleoprotein particle. What do you mean by acellular? It does not have a proper cell structure. It has a genetic material which may be an RNA, that is ribonucleic acid, or a DNA, which is a deoxyribonucleic acid. This is covered and protected by a protein called as capsid. Some viruses have a loose covering called envelope, which is made of proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. These tiny particles are classified between living and non-living. They are inactive outside a living cell and can remain as crystalline form. But inside the host cell, they take up the control of the host machinery and make several replicas. What is COVID-19? COVID-19 is the disease caused by novel coronavirus or SARS-CoV-2. World Health Organization first learned about this new disease on 31st December 2019 in Wuhan in China. Let us see the structure of coronavirus causing COVID-19. The virus which is causing COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2. That is the full form of SARS-CoV-2. It is a single-stranded RNA virus. Belongs to the broad family of coronavirus. It is too small, around 50 to 200 nanometers in size. If we think of size of an average human cell, which is of 10,000 nanometers, several viruses can sit in one human cell. You might have seen several diagrams of coronavirus with beautiful spikes and projections on their surfaces. They are made up of glycoproteins which are capable of recognizing the entry sites on human cells. These spikes appear like crown and hence the name coronavirus. It has 4 structural proteins including the spike protein S, the small envelope glycoprotein E, the membrane protein M, and the nucleocapsid protein N. Along with that, 16 non-structural proteins and several accessory proteins are there to help its entry and make the way into the cell. Use of alcohol containing sanitizers and soaps and detergents to wash our hands will destroy the lipid layer of this coronavirus. You might have heard that the viruses are mutating and producing large amount of variants like B1.1.7, the UK variant, 501.V2, the South African variant, and so many such cluster 5 and so many such variants. The mutation is mainly occurring in the spike proteins of these coronavirus. One or two amino acids are changing the protein sequences, which are making them more virulent or less virulent in nature. How this virus enters the host cell? When we return to our house from outside, we open the door with a key. So there is a specific pathway for us to enter the house through the door. Our cells also have such various entry points on our plasma membrane for entry of several particles which are required for our body function. Viruses use such entry points to enter our cells. Here, SARS-CoV-2 uses such an entry point called ACE2 receptor, that is angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptor. These receptors are present on the surfaces of cells of lungs, heart, intestinal tract, kidneys, etc. With the help of accessory proteins, these viruses get attached to these receptors and modify the plasma membrane to make its entry into the cell. After entering, they take up the machinery and make several replicas. These replicas will come out and will invade other new cells. After the entry of the virus into our body recognizes it as an antigen, that is a foreign body. Then our body will respond to the viral entry. It takes around 7 to 14 days to develop immunity. By this time, our body also shows some non-specific innate immediate responses by using macrophages, neutrophils and dendritic cells. This will slow down the progress of viral infection. When the body develops immunity, that is its adaptive response starts, the viral particles are bound with antibodies. These antibodies are produced in response to the viral entry. These antibodies are proteins called as immunoglobulins, shortly called as Ig. Immunoglobulins have a heavy and a light chain. These Igs can interact with the glycoproteins in the spike and neutralize them and can prevent further invasions. The body also makes T cells that recognizes and eliminate other cells infected with the virus. This is cellular immunity. These are combined efforts made by our body to clear the viruses. The presence of antibody, that is immunoglobulins, can be detected in the blood. Epidemiology of COVID-19, the study of determinants, dynamics and distribution of diseases in population or fundamental understanding of occurrence of COVID-19, spread of disease and how they cause disease. All these are mentioned and studied under this term epidemiology. All of you know that this disease is widely spreading across the continent. Hence, it became a pandemic. Now also the studies on its spread, mode of spread, how these varies or how these cause disease in organisms are studied. Earlier, it was just that the droplets carrying these viruses, being heavy, will not travel longer distances, and possible modes of transmission was mainly through close exposure. But now it is revealed that these viral particles can travel as liquid particles of different sizes, ranging from large respiratory droplets to small aerosols. So that is why we are advised to wear double masks when we go out and to wear masks when we are at home. Now let us see the symptoms of the COVID-19 disease. Symptoms are classified by WHO under 3 categories. The most common symptoms of COVID-19, the less common symptoms of COVID-19, and severe symptoms of COVID-19. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, fatigue, etc. The less common symptoms are seen in some few people only. They are loss of taste and smell, nasal congestion, conjunctivitis or red eyes, we usually tell that, headache, muscle or joint pains, different types of skin rashes, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea, chillness or dizziness. And the severe COVID symptoms are shortness of breath when the oxygen supply is to be started then. When the oxygen level falls, we should start the oxygen supply. Loss of appetite, the confusion, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, high temperature above 38 degrees Celsius. These are the symptoms which are so far recognized by WHO. Common etiological diagnosis of COVID-19. There are many tests are available to detect the presence of viruses nowadays as the molecular biology is advanced. But the most popular ones which are fast, accurate and cheap are real-time RT-PCR and antigen tests. RT-PCR test means reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction test. When viral RNA is transcribed into a DNA by using a reverse transcriptase enzyme, then it is amplified. Then the amplified DNA can be detected by the help of probes. This is what the basic principle of RT-PCR. So we all know that these diseases can be spread to any person irrespective of taking all the precautions. So, following some general health practices will improve our immune systems. That health practices are: have nutritious food, especially all sort of vegetables, to boost our immune system. Have good sleep in the night, which will be stimulating the production of certain hormones, which will be again stimulating our immunity. Have lots of fluids like lemon juice, orange juice, lukewarm water, and keep hydrated to fight against these viruses. Avoid hearing and spreading hatred and unauthenticated news, and avoid spreading that, because this will cause mental stress which will adversely affect our immune system. Practicing breathing exercise or various types of pranayama will help in improving respiratory skills. You might have heard of prone positioning practicing for getting more oxygen when you feel breathlessness. All these exercises, pranayama and position practicing, all these should be practiced under the guidance of certified experts or as per the advice of medical practitioners. Ensure that we are following COVID-19 protocols every moment and behave as responsible citizens. Now, our ACS2 teacher, Mr. Shekhar N. Lonare, will talk to you about COVID-19 protocols. Stay home, stay safe and blessed. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Shekhar Lunare from ACS2 Tarapur. Today we are going to discuss about the COVID-19 protocol. This is the page of guideline given by Government of Maharashtra on COVID-19. Let us discuss them one by one in the next slide. So these are the new guidelines, new rules, as we know that this is the second wave of coronavirus. So there will be complete lockdown on weekend, that is 8 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Monday, and only essential services are allowed. There will be night curfew, and during the daytime gathering of 5 or more persons are not allowed under section 144, while night curfew will be imposed every day from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Gathering of 5 or more person will be prohibited during the daytime, that is 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on weekdays. Now, what are the shops or the things will be closed in this guideline? So, shops, malls and market, theatre, bar, restaurant, gym, saloon, spa, parlor, club, swimming pool. These are the things will remain shut. Vegetable market can operate with social distancing with proper norms. Government and semi-government offices will run with minimum capacity and private offices will have to go for work from home. Transport restriction. In case of auto, driver plus 2 passengers are allowed. In case of taxi, driver with 50% of capacity of that vehicle is allowed. In bus, there will be no standing. Public transport will operate at 50% capacity. Autos and taxis will be allowed 2 passengers. Then there will be no standing passenger allowed in the bus or in a local train. Private vehicle including private buses can ply as usual from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. from Monday to Friday. Emergencies or on essential service duty allowed for all days. Curb on travel to and from the state. Travel will not be allowed for unnecessary reason except for essential service, medical reason or vaccination. Inter-district or intercity movement will be permitted only in special cases like funeral or medical emergencies. Those who travel for any of these reasons will have to undergo for home quarantine. Local train travel has been restricted. Private buses can be function only at 50% sitting capacity. Other private vehicle will be allowed to run only for urgent and emergency services. That too at maximum 50% sitting capacity. Essential services. This is the very important part for us. Restaurant will be allowed to operate only takeaway and home delivery service during the day hours. And this is also according to COVID norms, proper COVID norms. An exemption from the restriction of essential service like hospital, diagnosis center, pharmacies and other health services. All these are related services or medical offices will be exempted. So these are the services which are exempted from this restriction. In case of residential areas or in locality, the new guidelines said that the residential building would be declared as a contaminant zone if more than 5 COVID cases are found. Wedding will be limited to 25 attendees as per new norms and must be concluded within 2 hours at most. Rupees 10,000 fine will be imposed for failure of follow norm. Only 20 people would be allowed at a funeral. So these are the general guideline for general local areas. Now next, gathering of people at office and workplace. Government office can operate with 15% workforce. All offices engaged in providing essential services should work at the lowest required capacity, no exceeding the capacity beyond 50%. Only in case of emergency services directly connected to the management of COVID-19 pandemic and personnel actually delivering the essential services on the ground can be capped, be lifted or pushed back. Generally, people having various doubt in their mind. So these are the frequently asked questions. Can maid, driver, cook come to work? Can they travel by local train or bus? We have to allow local disaster management authority to take the decision on it, as various cities, urban or local areas have been different situation and decision should be local. In Mumbai, has clarified that movement of maids, cook, driver, help, nurse and medical attendees providing services to senior citizen and ailing people at home is allowed between 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on all days. Another question, will the general public be allowed to local trains? What constitute valid reason? So they are allowed if they have valid reason to travel. Valid reason, it is elaborated in order that section 2. You have to refer section 2 in the given order. Another question, for very large housing society, should we have whole society under micro containment zone? So if there are only limited cases, 1 or 2 cases, it is not considered as the contaminant zone, but if it is more than 5 COVID cases, then it is considered as the microcontaminant zone. These are the some precautionary measures that can reduce the transmission of COVID-19. Avoid meeting visitors at home, washing your hand, wearing properly the mask and other double mask we can say. Not necessary you have to purchase the mask, you can make some mask with clothes, folded membrane with the cloth. Social distancing is important, cleaning of surface area generally which are in contact with our body, avoiding closed space, use balanced diet, daily exercise and meditate, and don't self-medicate. These are the precautions you have to take during COVID-19. And this is the protocol for symptomatic cases of COVID-19 in the premises. So this is the first step, that is disinfected all area. Second step, increase of air circulation carried out by this way. Third step, closing of area, and fourth step, notifying the PCMC. So these are the protocols in case of COVID-19 patient observed in your premises. So thank you very much. We are the warriors, but the battle is half won. Yet follow all the precaution measures, all protocol to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thank you. Thank you one and all.
Hello everybody. So in this pandemic situation, I welcome you all. Be stress free, be positive and take care of your health so that you can fight very well in this pandemic situation. This is an awareness program taken up by all the biology teachers of ACS Tarapur, which is being guided and coordinated by our principal, Shri Ramdas Vasudevan. Today I'll be talking about COVID appropriate behaviors. Myself, Karuna Singh from ACS 2 Tarapur. You can clearly see these images. You must be thinking, mask, yes, we always wear. I know many don't. Sanitizers, yes, it is done. Touching of eyes, nose, mouth, these things everybody knows, whether it is illiterate, literate or educated. Washing of hands, keeping safe distance, everything everybody knows. But are you really following? So we have to follow this COVID appropriate behaviors. This is a pandemic situation where we need support from all, whether it is individual, whether it is the society or the state or universal. It is each and every individual is responsible for its spread. You may not know who will suffer from your spreading. So it is our individual duty to stop the transmission of this particular viral disease. So we have to reinforce the importance of preventive measures, and we should practice in sustained manner so that this disease gets cured completely or removed, eradicated from the society. And it will take a long time. So this fight can be won only when everyone knows their goal, everyone knows their role. Very important. So what are the promises that we need to follow? Wearing mask. The question is how to wear the mask. simply wearing mask, touching on the outer surface, or just putting mask below the nose, or just for a fashion purpose putting near the neck. This is not correct. Nowadays, you might have seen people are using two masks. Little breathlessness will be felt, but if you wear cotton mask, the breathlessness can be avoided. So always prefer reusable mask. Every time you should wash the mask once it is removed. Once you touch and remove, it should be washed, and you should wear a fresh one. This is just a safety norm. If you're following better, you will be prevented from the disease. So proper wearing of mask is essential. Do not touch the upper surface, as I said. Now, after you wear the mask, what about the hand hygiene? I said the mask should be washed and kept once it is used, or if you touch the surface, the hand is to be sanitized properly. Mostly, you should sanitize your hand using soap. Okay, soap and water. You rinse your hand properly using soap and wash it under the water. See that tap upper knob should be cleaned using the soap itself. And even before wearing a mask, after wearing a mask, again you should sanitize your hand. So what is the hand practice that one should follow? The way to wash your hands. This coronavirus the virus is extremely small, you know that, and once it enters into your body, it steals our machinery and multiplies. If the load of virus increases in your body, your immune system fails to curb the disease. Your body starts showing symptoms. Little amount of virus, nothing will happen, no symptoms as such will be seen. But if you have loads of virus in you, right, more amount of pus formation in your lungs, then definitely that will affect you. So first thing is you eat everything through your hands. So make your sanitization start from here. Wash it properly. Various steps are shown in this diagram. You can see these things you should follow while washing your hands. All the steps are equally important. Take some seconds. Don't just within a second, don't let it go for 30 seconds. More than that, well and good. So sanitize, clean your hands using soap and water more often. And if you don't have soap and water, if you're going outside, then you can go for alcohol-based hand sanitizer that you can carry always with you. Now sanitization is needed at home and outside. At home, when somebody brings vegetables from the market, it should be thoroughly rinsed. How many of you must be washing it? I personally wash with vinegar, but even that is not very efficient. It is said that you go for detergent or soap even to wash that. But some vegetables, when you wash, it will get spoiled. So see to it what all things you can wash it easily, but make sure it should be washed properly and dried. Then only you store in your fridge or you use for cooking purpose. When you bring anything from the market, immediately whatever you are wearing, that should be sanitized or washed. Wash yourself, take a good bath. If possible, put little Dettol, take a good bath, and then just whatever materials you have purchased, leave it for 8 hours at least. After then, you can bring it inside. You can keep a separate area where you can keep all these things. After 8 hours, you can bring those things and then you can start using. But make sure you wipe it if it can be done. So that is the safety, and whatever things you are using must be sanitized. Like you can see in the diagram, the door handles, even the chair, table, sofa, whatever you're using frequently, keep on changing the bed sheets and other things of your home so that your home remains well sanitized. Outside, when you go, people are taking good care by spreading the sodium hypochlorite solution and other so many disinfectants so that you remain safe. And that's the reason why the people are called very less to these to various departments. But when you go outside, you have to take you should be very cautious. Now, when you go outside, what you should follow? Physical distancing, social distancing. Do you really follow this? Sometimes we feel, yes, being together won't cause any problem. The person is not coughing. I am also not coughing, so it won't be a problem. But virus is very, very, very small. It can even enter through your mask. Only thing is, mask can minimize the entry. And if the person is suffering from the disease or if the person is carrier, it will minimize the spread also. That's why for initially I said masking is very important. Now, when you are moving into a social gathering or when you're going outside, first of all, it should not be done. But suppose you go outside, physical distancing between you and the other person, there has to be some minimum distance which should be followed. Keep 6 feet distance, it is said. Ensure that it is followed. There is no problem if you talk from a distance. You give facial expression, that's enough. Okay, so here, avoid going to crowded stores or playgrounds as far as possible, museum, theaters, and all those things. Most of the things are anyhow stopped. But still, a few places, even if they don't stop, you are supposed to avoid moving out of the home. If you go to grocery shop or public transport, if you're using, you have to be very careful. Sanitize the place which you are handling or touching, because you carry sanitizer with you. Just sanitize it and then hold, or avoid touching any of the articles. In grocery, if you're purchasing anything, if you're touching anything, wear gloves, take all the things and just put it in a bag, tie it, remove the gloves and throw, or put in such a way that that can be discarded, and then sanitize or wash your hand, and then only you go outside. So you have to check the distance between you and the other person. The physical distance should be there. Also, when you go to a particular crowded area, see that people are at different distances from each other. There should not be overcrowding anywhere. Nowadays it is said it is airborne. Earlier it was said droplet. Now it is said airborne. So the same air you're going, if more crowded people are there, if suppose even 10 or 15 people are suffering, or the virus load will increase in that particular boundary, that will enter in your body. So that's the reason you just avoid crowded area. Be single and just inhale fresh air. Go for morning walk. Morning time, the air is fresh. It has a gap of around 12 to roughly 12 hours, because people after 9 they stop going out. So you get a fresh. You just go freely where you are alone. Take the fresh oxygen. Avoid crowded area. Maintain please physical and social distancing. So creating awareness is very important. That's what we are doing. For this self-awareness and even public awareness is important. Self-awareness, why it is important? Because you should follow all the things to remain healthy. Even you have to check the others should be healthy. So one should follow safe distancing, which I have said. You should not go to crowded area. You should wash your hand frequently and thoroughly with the soap and water. Also, use tissue or handkerchief while coughing. If you do not feel well, stay at home. No need to go outside, because you don't know what's the reason for your unwell situation. Right? There are many people who are they have antibodies in their body. That means they might be COVID positive before, but they don't have any symptoms. But they can be carrier, no? So you have to check that even if you are little sickness or something, even headache or body ache, such simple things can also be a symptom of COVID-19. So, and always get yourself tested at right time, because if you delay, the load of virus will increase and that will cause more symptoms which can be dangerous for the people who are suffering from blood pressure or this heart issue or any other such related diseases. So please get yourself tested. Maybe your neighbor is having aged people. If your family doesn't have, whatever may be the reason, if you feel any slight symptom of it, please get tested. And accordingly, check your vitamin D level, check your vitamin C intake every day. Check you have all the vitamins in your body, vitamin B complex, all such things are required for the body to fight against this disease, to build up your immunity. So sanitizer must be handled very carefully here in case if suppose it is inhaled or if that can if it is kept near the flame, it is very dangerous. It's a flammable substance, so you have to be very careful. In public awareness, one thing, masking is must, double masking very good, but other than that, this point is very important. Some you are following but others are not following, so you feel जाने दो, मैं भी नहीं करूँगा, please let others don't follow, but you should follow this. You should follow COVID protocols. And if possible, make others also follow. There is no wrong if you tell other, please maintain distance from me, or just wear mask properly. Such things can be told. It will be a kind of your how much you are thinking about the society. So there is no problem in informing others about it. Now, what precautions you are going to take care at home? So when you bring all the vegetables and fruits, please clean it properly. As I said, regularly sanitization of frequently used articles at home should be taken care of. If you purchase anything online, keep that outside or somewhere at your home isolated for a day. Next day you just spray it, you just fumigate it, or you just use a sprayer. You can wash also because it is packed, then unwrap it and use, so that the chances of getting infection from those articles will be less. Always consume boiled water at home. It should be lukewarm water. Keep on having, if possible, have some clove or cardamom. So to ensure your the throat has to be little warm, and it gives various minerals which are important for the enzymes to form. Take steam regularly. It's very important whether you are COVID patient or not, but taking steam regularly is very important. If you're coming from outside, take twice at least. If you frequently go outside, you cannot stop yourself from going out, then please 4 to 5 times steam you take. Okay, so this will actually help you to clear out initial infection if it is there. So also do all kind of respiratory exercises. Respiratory exercises can be related to your upper chest cavity. So you can perform your hand swing, and take deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, do it. And even while sleeping, you can just take deep breath. Avoid, you can just lie on your stomach and then breathe it. Blow balloon if possible, right? So deep, hum it. Humming is also very important in this case. You can perform all kind of respiratory exercises. It will increase the oxygen level in your body, and this will help your body to fight. Okay, and if you have been diagnosed with COVID-19, stay in a separate room and away from others. You can open windows so that it gets well ventilated, and the fresh oxygen can be supplied to you. Now, when you go outside or in public places, what precaution you're going to follow? You can greet without physical contact. Okay, if you want to wish anyone, no need to touch. There is no need for that. The same concern the other person will also understand, because this is a COVID situation. So with maintaining physical distance, you can greet it. Always ensure the social distancing. Avoid touching your eyes, your nose, your mouth, ear, all all those parts, because this is going to, it will be a channel for virus to enter inside. Of course, when my eyes are open or ears are there, it can enter, but there is a liquid which keeps on, circulating, and inside it will kill the virus or any microbes which enters. But purposely, if you touch any viral things with your hand and that same thing you just rub, the chances will increase. Also, discourage going to crowded areas. You check your safety. And if possible, avoid unnecessary travels. Wear reusable face cover or mask. Do not chew tobacco, etc. or spit at public places, because if you spit, that droplet can infect other person. So it is very important for all of you to ensure these precautions. Be very careful to seek information on COVID-19 from credible sources. Okay, this is very important. Do not circulate social media posts which carry unverified or negative information. Seek psychosocial support for any stress or anxiety, because during this situation people get highly stressed. What will happen? What I will do if this happens? Nobody is talking. Nobody. So many distress can come. You can take help. You can take support, but do not panic. Do not discriminate against anyone. Okay, don't treat like they are. There is no point of discriminating anyone. So let us take the pledge today. You can take your name. This is the pledge for each and every individual. Try to follow this so that we can fight together, okay? So the pledges: I, Karuna Singh, commit to be vigilant and bear in mind at all times the risk to myself and my colleagues from COVID-19. I promise to take all necessary precautions that prevent the spread of this deadly virus. I promise to follow and encourage others to follow the key COVID appropriate behaviors. To always wear a mask, face cover, especially when in public places. To maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet from others. To wash my hands frequently and thoroughly with water, or sanitize it if it's not available. Together, we will win this fight against COVID-19. So know your risk, people. Lower your risk. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Rajlakshmi, TGT Biology from Atomic Energy Central School 1, Tarapur. Today, let us talk about COVID-19 vaccination, why it's necessary. Immunization is a global health and development success story, saving millions of lives every year. Vaccines reduce risk of getting a disease by working with our body's natural defenses to build protection. When we are vaccinated, our immune system responds. Now that effective vaccines for COVID-19 have been developed and are being distributed to members of the public, it's key for us to understand the benefits of the COVID-19 vaccine and why they greatly outweigh the mild potential side effects or inconvenience that may be associated. First of all, let's know what's a vaccine. A vaccine is a substance that is prepared from a disease-causing pathogen or its parts or substances that replicate the organism. Once introduced into the host body, a vaccine provides immunity against the disease caused by the organism by stimulating the immune system to produce antibodies against it. To understand how COVID-19 vaccines work, let's first understand how our bodies fight illness. When germs such as virus that causes COVID-19, invade our bodies, they attack and multiply. This invasion, called an infection, is what causes illness. Our immune system uses several tools to fight infection. Blood contains red cells which carry oxygen to tissues and organs, and white cells or immune cells which fight infection. Different types of white blood cells fight in different ways. The first time a person is infected with a virus that causes COVID-19, it can take several days or weeks for their body to make and use all the germ fighting tools needed to get over the infection. After the infection, the person's immune system remembers what it learned about and how to protect the body against that disease. The body keeps a few T lymphocytes, which are called memory cells, that go into action quickly if the body encounters the same virus again. When the familiar antigens are detected, B lymphocytes produce antibody to attack them. Experts are still learning how long these memory cells protect a person that protects the virus that causes COVID-19. Vaccines are also critical to the prevention and control of infectious disease outbreak. They strengthen the global health security and will be a vital tool in the battle against antimicrobial resistance. Now, if you see, we are going to talk about why we have to vaccinate us. The COVID-19 vaccine produce protection against the disease as a result of developing an immune response to the SARS COVID-2 virus. Developing immunity through vaccination means there is reduced the risk of developing the illness and its consequences. The immunity has to fight the virus, help us to fight the virus if exposed. This is the reason we have to vaccinate ourselves. Getting vaccinated may also protect people around us, because if we are protected from getting infected and from disease, we are less likely to infect someone else. This is particularly important to protect people at increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19, such as healthcare providers, older or elderly adults, and people with other medical conditions. The COVID-19 vaccines are considered safe for most people, including those with pre-existing conditions of any kind, even autoimmune disorder. These conditions include hypertension, diabetes, asthma, pulmonary, liver and kidney disease, as well as chronic infections that are stable and controlled. So none of us should hesitate to get the vaccine. The possibility of serious complications for anyone who gets the virus, along with the public health consequences of this pandemic continuing its course, these are the strong reasons in favor of getting vaccinated. The possibility of serious complications for anyone, and also the pandemic continuing its course, how to stop it, these are the two reasons why we should be vaccinated. If you look at the negative side, the most common side effect is soreness at the site of injection. Other side effects include fatigue, headache, muscle ache, chill, joint pain, and possibly some fever. How long do these side effects last? Usually 24 to 48 hours and not more than few days. Now, how the vaccines and the herd immunity are connected? What's the link? When enough people in a population are protected from disease by vaccination, the chances of an outbreak are very less. There aren't sufficient hosts for the pathogenic organism to survive in the population, and the disease will die out completely. Thus, if you are vaccinated, it helps us to develop herd immunity. This protects inner population as well as who are not vaccinated. This includes elderly people, young children and babies, as well as those with a weak or compromising immune system. Getting vaccinated is one of the many steps we can take to protect ourselves and others from COVID-19. Protection from COVID-19 is critically important because for some people, COVID-19 can cause severe illness or even death. So to conclude, stopping a pandemic requires using all the tools available. Vaccines work with our immune system, so our body will be ready to fight the disease when we are exposed. The combination of getting vaccinated and following Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) recommendation to protect ourselves and others provides the best protection from COVID-19. Ending the COVID-19 pandemic will halt the growing negative impact the virus is having on education, the economy, healthcare, and countless other activities of the functions of the society. So, the person next to me will be talking about the types of vaccine available in India, and it's our earnest request to make you vaccinated. Thank you.
Good morning, myself Lakshmi Shetran from ACS 1 Tarapur. Today we'll be talking about types of vaccines. There are several types of vaccines. Each type is designed to teach our immune system how to fight off certain kinds of germs and serious diseases that they cause. When a scientist creates vaccines, they consider how our immune system responds to the germ, who needs to be vaccinated against the germ, the best technology and approach to make the vaccine. There are several types of vaccines. First, inactivated vaccines. Second, live attenuated vaccines. Third, messenger RNA vaccines. Fourth, subunit recombinant polysaccharides and conjugate vaccines. Fifth, toxoid vaccines. And sixth one, viral vector vaccines. Here we are going to deal about first inactivated vaccines. Inactivated vaccines. These vaccines use the killed version of the germ that causes a disease. These vaccines don't provide protection as strong as live vaccines, so we may need several doses over time, like we have booster shots, in order to get ongoing immunity against the diseases. Let's see what all inactivated vaccines we have come across so far. Inactivated vaccines are used to protect us against hepatitis A, rabies, polio, influenza. Inactivated COVID-19 vaccine. Bharat Biotech and Indian Council of Medical Research and co-developed, they have made Covaxin. Inactivated vaccines do not replicate and are therefore unlikely to revert and cause pathological effects. It is a 2-dose vaccination. The liquid remains stable at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Coming to the next type of vaccines, they are live attenuated vaccines. Here, live vaccines use the weakened form of germ that causes disease. Since these vaccines are so similar to the natural infection that they help to prevent the disease, create a strong and long-lasting immune system. Just 1 to 2 doses of most live vaccines can give you lifetime protection against a germ and the disease that causes it. Let's see what all live vaccines we have come across so far. Live vaccines are used to protect us against MMR, that is measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, rotavirus, chickenpox, smallpox, and yellow fever. Here, this yellow fever is not the jaundice. This yellow fever is caused by a vector, Aedes mosquito. Okay? Now let's talk about messenger RNA vaccines. We also call it as mRNA vaccines. mRNA vaccines make proteins in order to trigger an immune system. It produces antibodies which protects us from getting infected if real virus enters our body. This vaccine doesn't use a live virus. It is used against SARS-CoV-2, that is COVID virus. Now, there's a picture of Pfizer. Pfizer is made on this technology, mRNA vaccine. Coming to the next category, that is viral vector vaccines. Some vaccines recently used for Ebola outbreaks have used viral vector technology. Viral vector vaccines use a modified version of a different virus as a vector to deliver protection. That means we are introducing another virus and it is acting as a vector. Now, several different viruses have been used as vectors, including influenza, measles virus, and adenovirus, which causes common cold. Now, you will be surprised to know adenovirus is one of the viral vector used in some COVID-19 vaccines. Covishield has been prepared using this viral vector platform. Both Covaxin and Covishield follow a 2-dose regime administered at 28 days apart. Now, this is a chart showing what all are the vaccines we are coming across and what all are the doses. Let's come for Pfizer. Pfizer talks about 2 doses. Doses are given there. Yes, we can see the doses here, 2 doses. Yes, the time duration is once again 28 days. And yes, they have shown us what all are the storage conditions. Then coming for Moderna. Moderna is also a company making it. They are doing with respect to this RNA technique. And these are also talking about 2 doses. And yes, they have given you what will be the storage techniques used. When we talk about another company, they are going with viral vector. Oxford, here they go with Covishield. Covishield, once again 2 doses. And yes, they have given you the time duration and the storage timings. Sputnik V is once again for 2 doses. And these all talks about the same period, that's 28 days regime to be getting administered. Then we talk about storage. Storage is like they're telling minus 18.5 degrees Celsius in liquid form. Then coming to Jensen's, that's only 1 dose. Yes, and they talk about the same storage timings and the degree Celsius under which we keep it. Pfizer generally have 21 days for doses. Okay, then we can talk about inactivated virus. When we talk about there is CoronaVac. That also talks about 2 doses. And yes, that is 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Sinopharm, once again with 2 doses. And Covaxin, that's 2 doses, everybody know. But there is one more thing called Novavax. That's also one of the vaccine where we trigger the protein. Here we trigger the protein inside and we make it. So there's also 2 doses accordingly. Yes. So here is a picture showing a lung which is vaccinated and lung which is not vaccinated. Like the picture talks about, once vaccinated and get COVID-19 infection, you can mostly stay at home and recover. See the picture. Whereas not vaccinated and get COVID-19 infection, you can hunt for accident beds and ICU for treatment. Make a right choice to get vaccinated today. Help us to end this pandemic. Thank you.